Okay, Year 7, so let's go through the answers to those questions then. So explain in terms of particles why each of the following speeds up dissolving. We're going to look at heating, grinding up the solid, and stirring. So as we go through this, you can change your answers if you need to. So we'll look at heating first. So remember that when a solute dissolves in a solvent, what is happening there are the particles of the solvent are colliding with the particles in the solute. They're giving them that energy, they're moving them around, spreading them out equally, and putting them in the gaps in between the particles of the liquid. Now, if we increase the temperature of the solvent, okay, the time it takes to dissolve will be reduced. So actually, the higher the temperature, the faster it is to dissolve a solute inside of a solvent. This is because the solvent particles are moving more quickly. They have more energy, they're moving more quickly, so they're more likely to collide with those solute particles. Okay, that means that if they're colliding more often, then they're going to spread the solute particles that much faster, and that increases the speed of dissolving because we get to that stage where they're completely evenly spread out more quickly. The next method then is to grind up the solid. So if we look at this diagram here, what I've got is, think of this sort of block here as your solute and these little green circles as your solvent. So in this section here, your solute is in one big block, whereas over here it's been ground up, it's been split up into tinier little blocks. Now, when you grind something up, you increase what we call its surface area. Okay, so literally the area on the surface that is exposed. So when it's all just ground up, there are more opportunities then for these solvent particles to collide with the solute. Okay, so over here we've got the same number of solvent particles and the same number of solute particles, but we've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. Let's write that down. We've only got 8 of them actually colliding. Okay, so we've only got some dissolving happening, whereas on the other side I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, 15 collisions happening, which means that dissolving is going to happen much faster when we grind up that solid because there are more collisions. Okay, so the last one we're going to look at then is stirring. So stirring kind of works in the same way as temperature, because when you stir something, it makes the solvent particles move faster. And if those particles are moving faster, they're more likely to collide with those solid solute particles inside of the liquid. Okay, now if they're colliding more often, that's going to speed up the rate of dissolving or sort of decrease the time it takes for the solute to dissolve. Now this is something that you can definitely test at home if you've sort of got 5 minutes. It doesn't take very long. All you need are 2 beakers filled with the same volume of water, and you just add a spoonful of a soluble solute into both. So in this one they've used salt, but you could use sugar or anything like that. Now all you do is you stir one and leave the other one as it is, and just sort of observe what you can see. Now hopefully what you will see is that in the one that you've stirred, your soluble solute will dissolve. Okay, and you'll get that transparent solution, you get to see all the way through it, and there'll be nothing at the bottom. Whereas in the one that you have not stirred, what you will find is that you've got quite a lot, or at least more, of your soluble solute at the bottom of that beaker. Okay, so it's still dissolving, it's just going to take a lot longer in this one because you haven't made the solvent move faster.